Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Taste of Torrance. I'm your host, Kirk Lyons, and I am standing in front of Momo Paradise right here on the corner of Carson Street and Western Avenue. Now, these guys are a humongous chain throughout Asia. They've only been in Torrance since 2017, and if you've never heard of them, they offer a traditional hot pot experience, but with a twist. Let's go check it out. Now I've made it inside Momo Paradise, and I have to tell you, it is so comfortable inside here and the perfect ambiance to enjoy a hot pot meal. Now, if you're not familiar with that style of eating, stick around because you're gonna find out all about it. But just know, these guys are known for a variety of both international and local meats and vegetables. The best part, you get to cook it yourself. Now, standing with me is owner Len Hayashi. Len, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us. Now, I think we want to get this out of the way first because while you only have 2 stores here in LA, and I say only, but that's not like a huge accomplishment on its own, how many do you have worldwide?
Over about 70.
70, that's a 7 and a 0 worldwide. That's crazy. And to make the story even crazier, that's not a corporation, that is a family business.
It is a family-run business, that's correct.
So I have to know, how did this business start?
So I remember growing up, me and my brother, we would go to Japan once a year to visit my grandmother, and she would put together this shabu-shabu dinner for us. And you know those portable gas burners, right.
And then just a pot of stock or water. Okay.
Exactly. Then she'd have this huge spread of vegetables and meat, and we all kind of just dug in and ate, cooked ourselves.
Cooked it in the, yeah.
Right. And so that's very typical in Japan. But as Japan modernized, people got busier. It made it very difficult for families to be able to have that same.
Right. Maybe then more of a special occasion thing because.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
Right. So my uncles kind of saw a need. They said, look, instead of doing a high-end, shabu-shabu or a typical shabu-shabu restaurant, they kind of created a hybrid that was more accessible to everyday families.
Right, now because typically in Japan, the shabu-shabu is its own thing.
Right.
But you've sort of incorporated other hot pot dishes, which we will get to.
Right.
Now, what made you decide on Torrance out of all the places in LA?
That's a great question. My partners, David, Anthony, and I, we grew up in LA. Born and raised, and I would say that even to this day, Torrance is the go-to place for Angelenos living all across LA who want to come experience some of the best Japanese culture and food.
And Asian food in general. I mean, it's kind of all here.
It is all here.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
So for us, it was pretty natural. I mean, it's also the people who live here. And the food culture is it's becoming very, very vibrant. So for us, it's a natural choice to open up a shabu-shabu restaurant here.
And where'd you get the name Momo Paradise?
Momo Paradise. So in the US, what does the sound of a cow make?
That would be moo.
Right. In Japan, the kids always say mo. So it's Momo Paradise.
So the cows speak Japanese too?
Yeah,
It's a different sound?
Yeah, it's weird, but that's how they originally came up with the name.
Oh, that's great.
Right.
That's great. What other types of hot pot do you offer?
So we do the typical shabu-shabu. We do sukiyaki, which is a sweeter broth. We do tonkotsu, which is like tonkotsu ramen, the pork bone broth. And we do also kimchi.
And a kimchi broth?
That's correct. Yeah, like a Japanese kimchi.
All right. Well, I'm going to be trying all of this.
Let's do it.
Well, but what I should say is that one of the things that makes this really fun is that you have the ability to pick from a lot of different ingredients. Mm-hmm. Now, is there a station around here where that happens, or does that come to your table?
No, we have what's called a farmer's market. I'll bring you over and
can we go to the farmer's market? All right, let's do it. Yeah. Well, Len, we've made it to the farmer's market.
Here we are.
And I gotta tell you, I mean, this is a beautiful station with some really interesting things. And I kind of want to point some of them out. And we can start over here on the left with these meatballs and these fish balls. It's interesting. I can't say I've ever had that in sort of a shabu-shabu or a Japanese hot pot.
Right.
Is that something that's a little bit what makes you sort of unique here?
A little bit, yeah. That's we kind of mix in some new ingredients that you normally wouldn't get in shabu.
And what I think is important for everyone to know is that no matter what dish you order here, your visit starts here.
It does.
You're going to load up your plate with these ingredients, and you're going to take them back, and we're going to cook them.
That's
and
right.
we'll get to that. Trust me, because I'm hungry. But like I said, I mean, just really, really gorgeous. We've got some enoki mushrooms here, tofu. Now, frozen tofu.
That's right.
What's that about?
It's basically the same thing as regular tofu, but the texture is really different. I think when we try it, you're gonna kind of.
Is it frozen or freeze dried?
It's frozen.
It's actually frozen,
It's
like cold frozen.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Frozen, and then when it thaws, it gets more of a spongy kind of texture, but it soaks up the juices really well. in the
Nice,
shabu.
like a sponge, more of a little bit more of a
Exactly.
sponge. All right, and here we've got this. This is traditional pho noodles, right? Okay, so we're bringing in a little Vietnamese here as well,
right.
and just some rice noodles, and then Chinese mustard green. I mean, I'm gonna be all over that. I can tell you that right now. Bok choy, and then burdock root, and then is this potato? That's something you don't see, I think, in a ton of
Right.
like, Japanese things. Is the use of potato.
Right, but as a soup, it goes really well, right? Potatoes are great.
Come on,
in
right?
soup, right?
And then I love, like, there's so many different mushrooms. The mushrooms is like a big thing in the Japanese culture. It's a very sort of a healing quality to that.
Right.
And then, what are these noodles?
That's shirataki. So you know, konnyaku. Konnyaku is like a type of potato, but
Yes.
the great thing about konnyaku is it almost has 0 calories. So you can go to town with these shirataki noodles, and it will not put a dent on your calorie count.
You know, that's the thing that I think that is so nice about hot pot. For me, it is sort of the perfect cross between healthy and hearty. I don't know if I've ever come out of shabu shabu not feeling anything less than like completely filled up.
I hope so. That's our intention.
Well, and also too, I just found out that you guys are also all you can eat.
we are all you can eat. That's correct.
I'm going to repeat that. All you can eat.
Right.
So if you want to try multiple types of hot pot, that's all possible.
Right.
Great. And then here we've got the kabocha squash.
Right.
Now this is one of my favorite things right here. Also very big in Japanese cooking,
It
correct?
is, yeah.
Mostly see it in things like wok stir fries and whatnot.
But it goes really well with the shabu shabu as well.
I can imagine, because once again, sort of a sponge to absorb
Right.
flavor. Now talk to me about these sauces down here. What do we got going on here?
So these are different condiments that we can add to our sauces. You know, in typical Japanese shabu shabu, you have ponzu, which is a citrus kind of soy sauce.
Right?
So you would use, you know, the green onions and of course the daikon.
Right.
As well as we have what my brother makes is a taberu rayu. It's kind of like a sesame oil with onion and spices. It goes really well alone, but you can add it to complement the gomadare, the sesame dressing.
Oh wow! I got to tell you, Len, the descriptions and the smells literally have my mouth watering. Is there any way that we could?
Maybe get some food?
I thought
Let's
you'd never
do it.
ask.
All right, let's go.
All right. We have arrived,
This is it.
and I got to tell you, the smells in here, absolutely amazing. So we got to set the stage here, and set up the storyline. So what we're going to start with here is a shabu shabu.
That's right.
And what we have here in this pot is the broth that we're going to be cooking our meats and our vegetables in. Now, we should talk about that. This is sort of like untraditional in terms of like traditional shabu shabu. Normally it'd be done with like water, correct?
Right. A little water and a little bit of kombu.
And kombu, correct. But we've got here, this is a vegetable stock?
So it's a vegetable stock with the katsuobushi, which is the kind of the dried bonito.
Okay, so it's not quite vegetarian, but I mean, it's little dry bonito flake never hurt anybody.
Right.
So we've also enlisted the help of a shabu shabu master over here with us, is Sen. Konbawa Sen-san.
Yeah.
So he is going to actually show us how to prepare this the
Shabu
right
shabu.
way.
The right way, right.
All right, I'm in.
We're going to start with making typically how you would traditionally make shabu shabu.
Okay.
しゃぶしゃぶは最初お肉から食べていただきます。
Normally you always start with the meat first.
Okay.
And you know the interesting is shabu shabu is the sound of the meat swishing in the pot, right?
Is shabu shabu.
That's right.
Yes, yes.
That's
There we
right.
go.
最初お肉から食べることでスープにお肉の美味しさが入ってきますから。
So what happens is when you cook the meat in the soup, you're flavoring the broth with the meat. And
Right.
That's normally how shabu shabu is eaten. So we start with the ponzu.
Start with the ponzu. Yes, sir. Let's see here. That is spectacular. So good. I mean, that is such a deep beef flavor. And then you combine it with the acidity of the citrus and the saltiness. I could eat 2 trays of that. So good. Excellent. So this is our pork.
This is a kurobutan. We use the shoulder.
A kurobuta,
because it has
okay.
a good mix of, a little bit of fat. Has a great texture, and it stays pretty moist even when you cook it in shabu.
ぜひポン酢で
Wow.
With the ponzu.
Ponzu again. Back to ponzu. Okay. Now I can tell that is hot.
Right. Let's let that cool down.
It's
a
so
little bit.
light. Look at the, I mean, like, especially underneath this area here, it really looks like pork.
Yeah, it could be
And
definitely.
it just had that sort of like lusciousness and mouthfeel to it. Delicious. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty incredible. So now with shabu, are we basically eating just all the meats first?
No,
Or do
would
we go
start with
back
a
and
couple.
forth with-
Yeah. For shabu shabu, as you eat and cook more vegetables and meats into the soups, it starts to become more flavorful. That is shabu shabu.
You're literally creating soup in front of everybody's
Right,
eyes.
right.
Is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of a lot of new restaurants are kind of modernizing by having individual pots.
Yes.
We want everyone to experience it together.
Yeah, that's
Kind of share the
typically what I've
popularity.
experienced in the States is the individual shabu pot.
Right.
Right. But this is more of a it's a communal experience.
Right.
Oh, beautiful. It's so perfectly cooked because you can hear there's still texture, there's still crunch to it, but it just melts away. It's so good. I want to try one of these Enoki mushrooms too. I think I want to try that with. See, I'm getting a little creative here.
Yeah. No, that's good.
That is excellent. It's so refined, and it doesn't matter if you were doing low carb, if you were doing a keto, if you were doing even a paleo. This is really healthy eating.
It is.
Very healthy.
yeah.
But at the same time, too, I mean, the fact that this is all you can eat, and you've got all this. I mean, you literally can eat until you're done.
Right.
So good. Wow, that was absolutely excellent.
This is sukiyaki.
Okay, and what is that in that broth?
So it's a mixture of soy sauce, mirin, and
Fortified cooking wine.
Right, and brown sugar.
Brown sugar. Okay,
Right.
so it's got a sweetness to it.
Right.
All right.
So it's a very sweet, a little bit savory sauce.
And we've got the same meats that we've had out for the shabu shabu.
Right.
And now Sen-san also brought us some vegetables that go especially well with this.
Right.
But then there's also the egg component.
Right.
What's going on there?
So for sukiyaki, the egg is actually the sauce.
Oh.
But you use a raw egg, and we'll have you crack an egg and put it in a bowl later on, and you mix it up, and that actually helps to kind of temper or complement the sweetness of the sukiyaki.
We have sukiyaki.
Sukiyaki, that's
これ
right.
されて一緒に卵に少しディップして
And then what you do is you dip that in the egg.
Okay. If you're on the fence about eating raw egg, think not. This is amazing.
Is it good, right?
It adds this sort of this creaminess, this lusciousness to it. You don't get a raw egg taste at all. It's almost just like it becomes buttery, creamy,
It does,
silky. So good. And those onions from there.
Right. Really good, right?
They taste like they've been marinating. It's a tremendous amount of food by the time you get to this. Are there people that really come back for multiple hot pots?
Oh yeah. I mean, we have people coming back now, like on a weekly basis.
No, but I mean in one sitting.
Oh, in one sitting? Well, we do a split pot. So we have some pots that actually have two sides to
Oh,
them.
that's great. So you could do a sukiyaki and a shabu shabu.
Right.
And you also have a boba bar here.
We do also have a make your own boba bar, right.
And that's included in the all-you-can-eat
It's
price.
also as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you.
This has been an amazing experience. I mean, not only has everything that I've tasted today just been nothing short of excellent, but your hospitality, Sensan's hospitality, and cooking acumen have just been on point. And I gotta say, what you're doing in terms of what you offer for the price point cannot be beat. I highly urge you to come before you can't get a table here anymore. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed it.
I surely did. But we're not quite done. My counterpart, Hiba Samad, she's on the other side of Torrance somewhere, and most likely doing something fashion related, because that's how she rolls. Oh, Hiba?
Thanks, Kirk. I'm at the Del Amo Fashion Center and I'm standing right in front of Brow Arc. It's a place where you can walk out feeling and looking beautiful. So let's go check out all the services they have to offer. I'm finally inside, and here at the Del Amo Fashion Center, there are two Brow Arc locations, and this one right here is next to Nordstrom, and it's a full-service salon, and there's no better person than to talk about all the services they offer here than the owner, Farzan Amiri. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Thank you for
coming.
having us. And Brow Arc is such a unique place. It's literally every service a woman can dream of under one roof. So how did you and your husband open these?
So we started a while back. We've always been looking for the next big thing, and we saw that threading was a trend. We got into it about 10 years ago when the market had just started, and we've just expanded from there. Our very first location was in Santa Rosa, and we're up to 30 plus locations.
Wow, that's amazing. And you just mentioned you started with threading, but now you do makeup, hair treatments, everything. So how was the expansion? Tell me about that.
So what I envisioned, and my husband as well, is that we have a huge member base. Most of our customers become members. It's a big savings for them. So as we grew, I felt that it's better to basically cater to all our customers. So when they're in here, they could not just get their threading done, but they can get their hair, they can get a blowout, they can do color, they can get a cut, you name it, and they can do it. And then it's also about the experience. Coming in to one of these salons, it's not just coming in and getting threading. It's basically walking out and going, wow, this was just a great place to be.
And I'm going back to threading because it's such an ancient technique and method of removal of hair. And now it is very trending, as you mentioned. So tell our viewers a little bit about where it comes from. What's the difference between getting your eyebrows or upper lip threaded compared to waxing?
So basically with threading, it is ancient. It's a Middle Eastern idea that came from there. And this is really, really old, and just recently, about 15, 20 years ago, is when it really hit the US, and it's just grown. It's one of those things where I feel women are just lost without it. Brows is really the most important feature in your face, and so shaping it perfectly and precisely is really important to each and every woman. So using the thread is the best way of doing that, versus tweezing or waxing, which we also offer, but we try to shy away from it. Threading is more, there is no chemicals involved. It's just basically shaping the brows precisely and beautifully. 99% of our customers that walk out happy and ready to come back.
For people who've never had their eyebrows threaded, and if they're looking at video of how it's done, it does maybe look painful. I get my eyebrows threaded. So is it painful, would you say?
It's honestly, it's with each individual, it's different. Some people are a little bit more sensitive than others. It looks more painful than it really is. If you try it once or twice, you will not go back to anything else.
What sets Brow Arc apart from other salons that thread, would you say?
Well, once again, it's about the experience. It's about customers first. We cater to each and every one of our customers. We want every customer that walks in here to become a member. That's really important. We're a company that has 50,000 plus members and growing. So every customer that walks in, we look at them as like, you're going to be our next member. So we pamper them. And also the salons, we try to make them as nice as possible so that when they're in here, they're not bored. I mean, we've got TV for them. They can watch whatever shows they want. A lot of people like to stay in our salons and get more done, which is the reason we expanded to the other services as well.
Why Torrance and the Del Amo Fashion Center?
We've been expanding, and when this opportunity came up, we felt because it's so close to LAX, and this is just a nice mall, we felt that we could definitely cater to our customer base here, so we came in.
Great, and now let's talk about another trend in the beauty world, I can say, the art of getting your hair blow dried. You know, nowadays you can make an appointment, get it done, go to a party, and here you have a full-fledged blow dry bar. So tell me about the different styles that you offer, what people can experience when they take a seat over there.
Well, again, it's about the experience. So our customers, most of the time, if they prefer, we would offer them a glass of wine, water, coffee, etc. And we always ask them, you know, what they want to watch on TV, and we will play that for them while they're getting their hair treated. We offer different treatments, and again, we're just not we don't just offer blowouts here. We do way more than that. So haircuts, blow dries, color, you name it, we pretty much do it.
So I know there's a wonderful, beautiful blow dry bar, and I want the viewers to see. So should we head over there and talk about the different services you offer?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Let's go.
We're in front of the wonderful blow dry bar. It's so beautiful, and you were talking about the TV and the aesthetics. And I want to talk about the hair services. Obviously there's a blow dry bar and the different styles you can get, whatever you want, you can walk in here and get. But when it comes to color and hair treatments, what does Brow Arc offer?
We offer hair masks, we offer other hair treatments. Our products that we use with that is usually the Moroccan oil, which works great. It works wonders. I use it on my hair. Since women are getting hair treatments or hair color every 3 months, and the chlorine and living in California with the sunlight and everything, it really damages your hair. So you come in here, it takes about 20 minutes. We have different types of treatments, and people walk out very happy. We really try to be a salon that's more natural. That's why we do the henna, which is all natural. I mean, there's different types of hennas out there right now, but the hennas that we use where less chemicals are involved.
And speaking of henna, that's another service you offer here.
Yes.
And that's also something that's been done for, it's historic.
Centuries.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Why would someone want to get that done? I guess what's the latest trends with that? I mean, it is a temporary tattoo, some people say.
Right. So that's really what it's about. Henna has been around for centuries, and it's really ancient. But now it's with the tattoos and everything that's trending. A lot of people they don't want to get a tattoo. So the henna is the next best thing because you have it for about a week and it goes away.
And for all the services you're offering, from henna to eyebrows, there's certain people that are experienced just in that, right? So talk to me about that.
So I call my employees artists, and they are. We have hairstylists who just does hair, and they do amazing work, and they don't really want to do the other side, and we never pushed with that. Whereas the threaders, honestly, a lot of these women who I call artists have been doing this for years, 10, 15, some of them 20 years. So it's it's something that's very natural and very normal to them, and they do amazing work. As far as henna, most threaders do know henna as well.
Okay.
So it kind of goes hand in hand. Again, it's the Middle Eastern way of things, and it's now trending. And then we also do makeup and eyelashes. And mostly the hairstylists will do the makeup and eyelashes as well. We have some threaders that will do that, but it's mostly the hair side.
Are we talking about eyelash extensions,
Yes,
which is
eyelash
very
extensions.
trending right now?
Yes.
What is that exactly, and
Well,
how long does it last?
So there's 3 different types. There's the strip lashes, which is you just put it on, just a little bit of glue, and it's a day. There's the cluster lashes, which usually lasts about a week, and it's several pieces. And then we have the individuals, which we call the spa lashes. That takes about an hour to an hour and a half to put on, and that usually lasts about 2 to 3 weeks, and it's more natural.
So you mentioned that you don't offer keratin treatment, but there's something else that's better and healthier for your hair that you do offer here, right?
Correct. So once again, we are all about natural. So we use agave. It's basically a sugar-based product. It takes a couple of hours, but it's all natural. There's no chemicals, whereas keratin, there's lots of things that I've heard that I would not bring it into any of my salons.
Speaking of products, you mentioned Moroccan oil, a lot of great products here at Olaplex. That's all, people can come and buy it here?
Yes. So we have the Moroccan oil for the hair side. We have the shampoos, the conditioners, the mousses, the oil is the big thing, the Moroccan oil, which we always offer. On the eyebrow side, we have the brow powder. It works wonders. So with every eyebrow shaping that we finish off, we finish it off with eyebrow powder. Most women do buy it because a lot of people, as we age, we have gaps in our brows. So that eyebrow powder just fills it in, and it just makes the brows beautiful.
Wow, so you can get beautiful, and you can also walk away with some great items to
Yes.
use when you're at home.
Yes.
And I know you mentioned earlier the member packages and the membership. Can you talk to me about that so viewers know?
Definitely. So with us, when we started the company, we wanted for our customers to basically save as well. Come in for an experience, save money, and become a lifelong member. We want them to stay with us rather than go somewhere else. So the way we did it is we used to offer 2 different packages. Now we've expanded to 4 different packages. Most people do buy the memberships because it's huge, and they know that they could use it throughout. So it's not just here, it's many other salons that they can go to throughout Northern California, Southern California, Florida, Colorado, and all of Washington.
And that's
State.
amazing. If you're traveling anywhere, you can, and look it up. There will be probably a brow arc there. So,
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for having me and my crew here.
Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for doing this for us.
Yes, of course. And for everyone watching at home, Brow Arc is located on the 1st floor near Nordstrom's. And as you saw, they have all the services any woman or man would need. So definitely stop in. And thank you for watching another episode of Taste of Torrance. I'm your host, Hiba Samad. We'll catch you guys next time.